Hi, do you know when to put the A or the an in front of the letter H? This is Susan Broder from Speak Languages and Travel the World, here to help you improve your English with minimum effort and maximum benefit. Now, the A or an in front of the letter H is a great debate. There are lots of different opinions on it. Some people say it has historical origins, the difference of whether you should or shouldn't put an H in front of certain words. Some people discuss whether you should be using it depending on the syllables, depending on the stress, but languages evolve. So I think we don't need to be so complicated. I think we just need to make a simple rule. Whatever sounds easiest is correct, because if you have to say apple, it just doesn't sound right. There's an awkward transition from the to the apple. So it's only logical to say that what sounds like a vowel, you'll put an H in front of. So an apple. And what sounds like a consonant will have a. So for example, a hotel. Now here there's another debate, of course, because it also depends on how you pronounce it. And that's why I said not so much what's written, but the way it's pronounced. In normal, common British English, you should pronounce the H, a hotel. Therefore, I think you should write it with an H. But if you're speaking very quickly, if you're speaking colloquially, if you're speaking a little slang, you might say, I went to an hotel, because you haven't pronounced the H, so the an can slip in. So the rule for written English is definitely if you hear it, then you put a, and if you can't hear it, then you don't. Now let's try some examples. So as I was saying, a apple is not possible. You have to say an apple. A hotel with the H. But remember, we're speaking about it directly next to the hotel. As soon as you put an adjective in between, it depends on the adjective. So, for example, an expensive hotel. Then what do we have? A history of. Now, I've seen so many titles of articles, especially scholarly articles in historical magazines where scholars discuss and debate, and very often it says an history of. Now it could partially be correct if you go back quite a few centuries, but I would say that in modern English we should say a history of, because we can actually hear the H, irrelevant of whether you've got the stress on the first or the second syllable. I think this is just all old-fashioned. We should just listen. Does it sound right? A history of. There's no complication. We don't need to say an history. So I would definitely say a hotel, a history of, and a historian. Of course, there are the words which are never pronounced. I mean, the H is never pronounced, such as hour. So it's an hour, because we don't pronounce the H. An honest person. We don't pronounce the H on honest, honesty, etc. An honor. We don't pronounce the H on honor, honorable, and so on. So where the H is never pronounced, you just do not put the you have to put an. Now, some vowels are pronounced like consonants, and some vowels are pronounced like vowels, and so it's the sound that counts. That's why I say for English, what you should always listen to is the sound and not worry about how things are written. So, for example, a uniform is the letter U. A user, you have to give in your username when you type your login details. But we say an umbrella because we're pronouncing it So an umbrella, but a user, a uniform, because the y is like a y sound and y is a consonant. Okay, another two which are particular are start with the letter X. One is the X-ray. So because you're saying X, E-X, it sounds like a vowel, and we say an X-ray. On the other hand, if you take the instrument xylophone, the X is a consonant, so it's a xylophone contrasted to an X-ray. Also, one, the number one is O-N-E, so you could say a one-eyed pilot. On the other hand, there's the bird, the owl, and that one we say an owl, because again we're using the vowel sound rather than the consonant sound. Okay, so the best thing is to just say a in front of a consonant or a consonant sound more than a consonant, and an in front of a vowel or vowel sound. Remember, it's the sound that's more important. Okay, I hope this has clarified many doubts that I know people have. If you found this useful, please subscribe and see you again in the next video. Bye!